Okay, well, I want to welcome you to our webinar series here at the Washington County Chamber of Commerce. This is Wendy Ragonis, and I do appreciate you spending some time with us this morning. We want to thank the Small Business Development Center here on the campus of Blinn College, and specifically Matthew Waring for connecting us this morning with our presenter, Charles Abell of the Small Business Administration Office out of Houston. So he's here to talk to us a little more in depth about the payroll protection program, the forgiveness program, and some of the economic injury disaster loans that have been made available with CARE stimulus funding through the SBA. So I'm going to turn it over to Charles. I know he's got a lot of good information to share with you this morning. And Charles, take it away. Thank you again for your time.
Good morning. Thank you, everyone. I think I'm still in as an attendee, so I can't see my slides. I can't do anything, but I'm here.
I've got your slides coming up right now. Hold one moment.
Great. And I think as an attendee, there's a little bit of a delay, like 20 seconds, so I'll try to keep up as quickly as I can so we don't take up everybody's time. And I do want to thank Matthew Waring as well. He's a great mentor in Brenham, and he's done such fantastic work with the Small Business Development Center. And really, they're our extension of the SBA that there's just not enough of us in the SBA to be able to reach out and provide counseling and assistance. So Matthew is a huge help, and his staff as well. And so thank you, Matthew. So here we go. Okay, we're going to be talking about payroll protection today. We're going to be talking about SBA basic programs, and I'm going to be sharing some information about how to get the forgiveness as well as assistance from the SBA. So next slide. And then we'll go ahead and do next slide again. And I just want to talk about our website. So this is the SBA website. So we're www.sba.gov/tx/Houston. You can also follow us on Twitter at SBA_Houston. And on our website, we hope that you'll scroll to the bottom and sign up for our emails. So we're providing emails on a regular basis to keep you updated, as well as on our website we have the links to update you with this presentation that I'm giving right now, as well as other information related to PPP and EIDL. A little bit about our district. We are 32 counties, and we're going to be talking about the 4 C's. So I'm going to talk about counseling, contracting, crisis, and capital. So in counseling, we have the Small Business Development Center are a resource partner of the SBA. They receive a grant from the SBA every year to operate. We also have SCORE, which is a group of volunteers who help us with mentoring here in our office in Houston. And we also, in our district, have the Women's Business Center, which is also located in Houston. The Women's Business Center specializes in certification for women-owned small businesses. And on the next slide, it shows their contact information. You'll see the University of Houston is the region organization that hosts the Small Business Development Center. So again, their regional office is located in Houston, but you do have the SBDC right there at Blinn College, and Matthew Waring and his team are your local representatives. And then you have the Women's Business Center and Houston SCORE. Houston SCORE is more centralized in Houston. It's a group of about 140 volunteers who help out with mentoring small business owners and entrepreneurs. And what's really good about them right now is they're all available online to provide online either Skype or Zoom meetings with you to provide mentoring, counseling, and assistance. Now, folks are contacting us for their EIDL loan. So on the next slide, it shows that if you're trying to find information on your EIDL loan, we need you to contact the Disaster Customer Service Center. That's 1-800-659-2955. And for the hearing impaired, they can dial 1-800-877-8339. You can also email, so if you've applied for your EIDL and you have your application number, simply put that in the subject line, email disaster customer service at sba.gov and ask for a status on your loan application. If you haven't received any correspondence at all, you need to call them right away. And when you call them, you're going to get basic customer service, and they might not be able to answer your questions. They might refer you back to our office. What I recommend is say to the customer service, hey, I've got an application number. I would like this escalated to a supervisor who can advise on the status of my loan. So that's just one thing that we wanted to point out, how to get past that first firewall of customer service. And on the next slide, and I'm going to run through these slides pretty quickly, but again, you can download these slides through our website. My goal right now is just quickly get this information to you, and then hopefully we have time for Q&A. So in our office, we have the Economic Development Team. That's the team that I'm on. We have 5 members of our team. We cover general topics. We help our resource partners with presenting webinars and workshops. And I love coming out to Brenham on a regular basis. That's part of my district. And we had last year's Small Business Person of the Year, the Independence Coffee Company. And so I love going out to Brenham all the time and seeing everybody out there and helping small businesses grow. So that's what my job is. Next, I'm going to be talking about contracting. So in federal contracting, a lot of folks aren't aware that the U.S. government is the largest buyer of product. So if you're in business and you're looking for someone to sell to, the federal government is a great place to be in. And they help Americans grow their business. We do specialized training for those seeking federal contracting. We help, so you can see on this table here, for example, last year we've helped small businesses, the number of loans that we've done. We've helped small disadvantaged businesses, rural businesses, and that's really important that we have a lot of assistance through the USDA, Department of Commerce, and the SBA available for Brenham and Washington County. We have the 8A program. We have in-house business opportunity specialists. You would have an account and a portfolio with us, and they meet with you on a monthly basis and advise how to grow your business and get into federal contracting. I'm also the Veteran Business Development Officer, so I help veterans and service-disabled veterans with starting and growing their business. We have women business advisors, as I mentioned, the Women Business Center here in Houston, so we help with the Women Business Certification. Next is capital, and that's going to kind of lead us into the crisis, and what you really want to hear about is the PPP and the EIDL. But capital, we have regular loans on a regular basis that are available to you. You can work with local lenders. What's growing in popularity is finding lenders online. And so if you don't have a bank in your area in Washington County that will work with you on SBA loans, you could do SBA loans with banks online. And pretty much that's what everyone's discovering right now. We have over 200 lenders in the Houston district area, our 32 counties, that they're taking applications online. And again, sba.gov/tx/Houston on our website, we have a list of all the lenders that are doing loans right now. So besides the disaster loans, they also do the 504, which will help you with real estate. If you're looking to buy the building that you've been leasing, If you want to expand your business, the 504 is a good program. And what everybody is familiar with now is the 7A, and it's a loan program that can be used for multiple purposes. So when you're speaking with a lender about your small business and or your CPA, financial advisor, broker, mention to them, hey, I'm interested in SBA loans and I want to learn more about it. We also do surety bonds and microloans. Microloans are really popular because a lot of times you don't need a lot of cash up front. Particularly if you're doing a startup, you might only need $25,000. So microlenders help quickly get the money to you in a microloan. Let's see, I'm jumping ahead in my slides. Crisis. So that's what we're going to be talking about now. I'm going to jump through these crisis slides real quick. I don't want to dwell on the numbers but folks are familiar with Hurricane Harvey and the disaster assistance that the SBA has given. Other disasters happen for agriculture. We have droughts. The SBA helps in drought conditions. So there's other, what happens is the governor has to make a declaration that we have a crisis or a disaster in our state, in our counties, and then the SBA will come in and do an assessment and say, yes, this is a disaster and we can fund and help businesses impacted by the disaster. There are several different ways that we help in disaster. We help with physical lending. So if there's physical damage, we help with lending for that, as well as economical injury disaster loans, EIDLs. We call them EIDLs. The EIDL is basically intended for you don't have physical damage, but you've lost customers because something has happened to prevent you from getting your revenue. So that's what the EIDL comes in, and that's to help the business itself when it has a lack of revenue due to a disaster. A little bit about the COVID-19 lending. You see the numbers there. We have had several iterations of the PPP loan. PPP2 is still in progress. I think there's about $100 billion still remaining in that program. The EIDL loans are open right now for agricultural businesses. So if you're an agricultural business, a aquacultural, there's produce companies or businesses that are doing produce, those businesses are being approved for new loans at this time. Anyone else who has applied for the EIDL previously, they are still in the system. If you received up to $10,000 advance, then your loan is still being processed. So initially we said it was going to be 4 weeks. It's now upward of 8 weeks for these loans to get approved. Now we're going to talk about the PPP forgiveness. At this point, I have to caveat that I'm not a lawyer, I'm not an attorney, I'm not a lending relations specialist, I'm not a business advisor, so I can't really interpret the law as it's written. I can just present the information to you as an economic development specialist. So on our slide, the Payroll Protection Program forgiveness, this is all the official guidance that you would want to review these and read them for yourself. You can interpret them yourself. You can contact a CPA or a lender who can also help interpret this information for you. To note, we have the CARES Act information on there, the bill as it was written. And I also wanted to point out that we have the interim final rule, which is what the SBA uses. It's the Small Business Administration Administrators guidance for us in the SBA as far as how the loan and forgiveness is dispersed and recovered. We do want to talk a little bit about full-time employees. We have a lot of questions, and I'm just going to jump through these slides real quick. FTEs, what is an FTE? This slide describes it right there. 1099s are not employees, they are contractors or individual support for business, so you can't claim 1099s. you do claim your FTEs and your part-time employees. What is payroll cost? That's a great question. What can this cover for me? As we run through these slides real quick, 3.2 IIF is a section of the interim final rule which describes what payroll costs consist of. So you'll want to, you know, basically everybody's questions are answered right here. One of the most that I get is state and local taxes for employees. Yes, you can claim that. Sick leave, medical, family, you know, it's all covered under the CARES Act. Jumping ahead to calculating PPP loan amounts, that's a big one. So on the Department of Treasury's website, they have a tool to help you calculate your payroll amount. And just some things to note, you know, basically we have an example here on if your annual salary is $100,000, multiply that by 12, or excuse me, divide that by 12, multiply by 2.5, and that gives you the amount of what that individual payroll is. A lot of folks might have over 100,000. Currently in the PPP program, it's only covering up to 100,000 per employee.
Charles, can I interrupt for one question we had come through?
Mm-hmm.
The question was, does the SBA know yet the tax implications on tax returns that will be in the next year for any of the loans?
No, we do not have any tax implication information at this time. It will be on the IRS website as it comes out. The irs.gov website does have a link to COVID-19 and PPP. So if you have a PPP loan or any other impact from COVID-19, the IRS will address that on their website. And we only have till 10:30, correct?
We'd like to keep it.
Yeah, 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So I can just say this about the forgiveness. There's a lot of information to read here, and I don't want to read every slide to you. You can go to our website and download these slides, and you can give us a call at 713-773-6500, and we would be happy to explain these further with you individually. You can also email us at houston@sba.gov, and we're responding to emails to those questions. And I'm charles.abell, A-B-E-L-L, @sba.gov. So at this point, let's jump to the end of the slides. I think slide 46, I just want to reiterate that we have our resource partners. Again, your local SBDC right there at Lynn College is there to help. You can go to the website and you can set up appointments. And again, our information, you can contact us directly. And just want to stress that we're here to help. So, you know, if you like, we can open this up to questions.
In case anybody who's watching is not familiar with the Q&A process, you type them in. There's a little icon at the top right of your screen, possibly that.
One question that's already come in from Anonymous.
Yeah.
Does the SBA know? Oh, that was the tax implication question. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, as far as 2020, you know, I think as time progresses, Congress is going to meet and further discuss tax implications and change laws, or the best way to stay up on that is to monitor irs.gov for the current tax laws. As far as the 2019 filings, I don't think that's going to have any impact on the 2019 filing, because that's going to be July 15th is when that is due. and this all occurred only in 2020. So time, as time goes along, we'll see what changes the tax laws. And I am open for any questions. And I just wanted to stress that I really appreciate Washington County and Brenham and the Economic Development Group and the Chamber of Commerce do so much for that area. And whatever we can do to support, I'm here to help you. So yeah, through this slide deck, we do have a lot of examples. And this presentation we are giving daily now at 9 a.m. and 1 p.m. every day on our website. So if you want the full in detail version of this presentation, we'll be happy to share that with you. We do have some of our own FAQs that I might be able to run through real quick. Since we're not getting any questions coming in, let me just read some of these FAQs that we have.
Here, I have another one, another question for you.
Okay.
For people who have not been able to work, hairdressers, booth rentals,
Yep.
gyms, etc., can we apply for these loans during the past time periods where we were ordered to stay quarantined?
Yes, and that's exactly what this loan program is for. I like to try to stress the name of the program is Paycheck Protection Program. So the goal of the program, what Congress was trying to do, was help us during this economic crushing time due to the COVID-19, that we're trying to keep paychecks, we're trying to keep business owners to be able to keep their employees on payroll. So it's an 8-week program, and I'm going to go through the rehiring slide right here, exactly that one. That the goal of the program is you're paying your employees their full amount for 8 weeks, and the government is going to forgive that amount. After the 8 weeks, then it rolls into a loan. So if you requested for more than your payroll, that will become a loan at 1% interest, and it will mature at 2 years. You'll have to pay that off in 2 years. Your lenders are working really hard, and they will be able to answer all your questions regarding the loan, the maturity, and then how to get the forgiveness. But that's the reason why we put this presentation together. We wanted to make sure that all business owners are aware of their this opportunity to keep people employed, even if they're not working, because the salon is closed. You're still keeping these people employed, you're keeping them paid, and then when the salon can open, then, hopefully things will return to as normal as, we can imagine. But that was the goal of this program, was to try to cover everybody during the stay-at-home situation. So let me read some of these hiring and rehiring real quick. Unless you want to interrupt me with another question, that's fine. But we haven't yet had a staff reduction. Do we have to maintain our staff through June 30th or just the 8-week period? So the 8-week period starts once you receive your loan. It's up to you that if you were closed February 15th or later, then that's the period that you want to try to cover everyone once you receive your loan. If you're still not open, then you're trying to cover for an 8-week period once you receive your loan. The goal is to rehire your people, bring them back to work. How soon do I have to rehire my employees? Basically, once you receive the loan. That's the goal of the program, is when you receive your loan, then you're bringing everybody back and you're paying them, even if they're not coming into the office or the shop.
Charles, we have a few questions coming in.
Great.
Does the PPP pay for the taxes that an employer owes concurrent to the paychecks?
I'm reading through that right now, and I'm going to try to see if I can come up with an answer. So I'm assuming that you've received the PPP and you're looking at the forgiveness. The taxes taxes that a employer owes concurrent with the paychecks? Yes. I would say yes. So when you do your calculation for payroll, that goes back to that slide that we quickly ran through. What is payroll? So the taxes are included in the payroll, so yes. For people who have not been able to work, hairdresser, oh, did we just cover that one?
Yes,
Yep.
you did.
Okay.
Thank you.
Great. I'm sorry, it's just now showing up on my screen.
That's okay.
Let's say, do all employees need to return at the same time, or can some stay on unemployment for a while? So once you receive your PPP, that's the whole point. You're bringing your employees back. They should not be on unemployment. If you're paying them, covering them for the full time, then they should return the unemployment. However, if there was a gap, if there's a period of 4 to 6 or 8 weeks that you're not paying them, but from this point forward you're paying them, then yes, they were entitled to the unemployment during that period of time. What if we have someone who doesn't come back until after the 8-week period has started? How do we include them? Again, the goal of the program is paycheck protection. So if they come back to work and they've expressed that they're coming back to work, then yes, you would fund them and keep them in your payroll. Can I include part-time employees? Of course, there are employees. Can I pay all of the payroll to my employees as a lump sum or at one time? That's up to you to determine how you're going to disperse funds. And it's also going to be determined how the bank is dispersing funds to you. So you're going to have to manage the money during this time and make that decision whether you're doing it as a lump sum or dispersing that over 8 weeks. Can I pay any of my employees more than they normally make for more hours than they normally work? That's a tricky question. I would say that you have to pay your employees their base pay. If you pay them more than that, you're going to have to report that in the taxes, but that does not increase your forgiveness. Your forgiveness is based on 12 months in 2019 prior to this pandemic on what you were paying the employees. Jumping ahead real quick, any other questions?
I haven't had any new ones come through.
Okay, well, I think the biggest things are determining the calculation. You've already received the loan, so you made your payroll calculation. The goal now on the forgiveness is receiving 100% back from the federal government. So the SBA is going to pay your lender is going to pay off the 8 weeks. If you continue the loan after the 8 weeks, that's between you and the lender. It's at 1%, and you have up to 2 years. The 100% forgiveness covers when you use 75% of the loan amount for payroll. The other 25% can be used for utilities, mortgage interest, pretty much that's it. Oh, rent, yeah, if you're renting your business. So that's pretty much everything that we have to cover. And again, I stress that you contact the Blinn College SBDC, and they can do more in-depth counseling, business advising, particularly in the financials. This is a really difficult time, and our SBA office is a very small staff, so we can't reach the hundreds of thousands of businesses that we need to. So without the SBDC, you wouldn't be able to get the assistance you need.
Thank you, Charles, for that. Shay, do you have any more questions from anyone?
No, we do not have any at this time.
Okay. Well, our goal with these webinars is to get you, relevant information to help you as you navigate. Obviously, today's focus was the funding through the CARES Stimulus Act. Charles has pointed out several good resources. I think the best one being our local SBDC office. So I know their staff is also limited. And so just, if you've not had success contacting them, just, obviously keep trying. Charles has also put some additional information out there. We'll share links to their website and also this webinar. But if you have, questions, you can always call us here at the Chamber. We will help connect you to the resources that you need. And Charles, I just want to thank you again for your time, and thank you for all that you're doing to support small business in our region and specifically in Washington County. So maybe we'll have you back again in a couple of weeks to talk. I know things change rapidly, so maybe there'll be some new developments. I do have one question. When do you anticipate the EIDL loan program will open back up to those beyond the agricultural industry?
Yeah, that's a great question. The funds were limited. We got $60 billion to reactivate the program, and there was a concern about the agricultural, particularly there's a lot of supply chain issues. So we have not heard any word on when it's going to open up to all businesses again. As soon as we know, we're going to email it out, and we're going to do updates, phone calls, and Teams live events, Zoom meetings to get that information out as quickly as possible. Headquarters hasn't given us any indication. There has been such a demand for it, and we are trying the best we can to help the rural, underserved communities, the true small businesses, not the big business that says they have 100 franchises. The goal right now for the EIDL is to apply it to the smallest businesses possible that are really struggling. And I know there's a lot of them in Washington County. So if anybody is having any difficulty, again, they can contact us, and we will work and advise them the best we can.
I appreciate that. Well, with that, and Shay, one more check for any further questions.
No new questions at this time.
Okay. Well, I want to thank everyone. Charles, thank you to you and your team. Shay, thanks for facilitating for us. And we will be hosting another webinar next week with a local subject matter expert, Amanda Stoltz with Seidel and Schrader. So we're looking forward to that as well, and more information to come. So thank you again, and thanks to our local office under Matthew Waring's direction at the SBDC. And Charles, thank you for your time. Thanks, everyone.